Okay, let's make sure we've checked our project in. Here's how we'll do it. All right, now the main thing we're going to do, we're going to open up P4V, log into there, find your project. So under here I have AMERE, that's me, and the project I'm interested in is AM Temp. Okay, now if I open this up, oh, and make sure where I'm not looking in the depot now. I want to look in the workspace. Okay, depot, workspace. So go to your workspace, find your project, and there's 3 folders and only 3 folders that we are interested in. So be careful about this. We're interested in the assets folder, we're interested in the packages folder, and we're interested in the project settings folder. Do not do this for library logs, obj, and user settings, etc. Okay, do not do what I'm doing for those other files. It's only assets, packages, project settings. Okay, first and foremost, assets. Right-click on assets. I'm going to say mark for add. If you have any files, okay, it's going to open up add files to pending change list default. That's fine. Okay. You'll see down here, if there are any files that you haven't yet added, they will show up here. It'll say files opened. All right, next, right click, and we're going to say checkout. All right, and pending change list, okay. Now in this case, 723 files open for edit, and it is basically checked out all the files in my project here, all the asset files, okay. Now, to make things easier, I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to say revert unchanged files. Click on that. And you'll see in my case, I've reverted all 723. I haven't changed anything. So they all go back. Now in your case, likely or maybe some won't go back. All right. Now at this point, we can move on. We'll go to packages. Same thing. Mark for add. Okay. Right click. Where do we go? Check out. Okay. And then we're going to go right click again, revert unchanged files, move on to project settings. Mark for add, be careful, mark for add, okay. And then check out, okay. Now, we can click up here, we'll right click and we'll look for submit. All right. Now, you may see things in here now that there are files to be submitted. Okay, my project setting ones are all checked out and ready to be submitted. Now let's make sure, I'm going to say cancel for a moment. So I'm going to go project settings and okay, I opened them and I didn't say revert unchanged files. Revert. Now 30 files reverted. Okay, so if I saw lots of files in there, that's kind of the clue here. So we'll go back up here. You may see files. You may see files that have been changed, and that's okay. But you always want to do that, right, in that order, or else you'll see kind of other fun things happen. So select assets, packages, or project settings. Or let's see, can we do this? I suppose we could do it like that. Assets, packages, project settings. Right click, mark for add. Okay. Check out. Okay. Okay, it's opened up all of them in there, right? Then I can right click, revert unchanged files. Make sure they're all, those 3 things are selected. Assets, packages, project settings. Okay, it's reverted all of them in my case. And then with that all selected, or even AM temp selected, right click and say submit. All right, no open files found. Come up here, submit, no open files found. Now in your case, if there are open files, right, so if you've got any files, it will say, go ahead, do you want to do that? Make sure you're not just saving your change list. You want to submit that change list. Make sure it all gets changed in there, and you should be good to go. All right, remember, like I said, it's assets, packages, and project settings. Do not check in your library. Do not check in your logs. Do not check in your OBJ file, and so on. Okay, so be careful. If you're going to choose, okay, assets, packages, project settings, all right? Now, when you're done, the contents of these three, you can go over to the depot, and you should see the contents of these: assets, packages, and project settings, and they should all then be current, okay? Everything will be there that you need to be there, all right? And under workspace, if you look at project settings, everything in there should now have a 1 of 1, 2 of 2, 3 of 3, okay, some kind of version indicator. If anything in here does not have a version indicator, that means somehow, I don't know how at this point, you missed it. So if there's something in here without a version number that is underneath project settings, packages, or assets, like if we go to assets here, we can look under each one of them. Let's look around. All right, these are all good. But if something was not missing, if it had one of those, right-click on it, mark for add, right? Okay, so let's do all that. Hopefully, life will be good.